Hello, my fellow comic book collectors. This is a huge box. So I've mentioned in other videos that I've been using Stackry. And Stackry is basically a program where you can, order from the US and send to a US address. Very useful for a Canadian like me. But what I do is I order all these really small comics. Like, so I order like comics that, the shipping would just make it impossible to send it to Canada. So like a $5 comic, well, I just, if I can get $5 comic for $5 and free shipping, then I'll send it to my Stackry account. So I've been letting those build up. But also I bought some pretty big books that they wouldn't send to Canada, and they're inside this as well. So there's some really minor keys in here, like that are kind of like popular spec books. And there's some really big golden age kind of cool books. So a big mixture of everything. This should be a really awesome unboxing, tell you the truth. I'm super excited to get this because this has been like, I think it's like 23 orders, 23 stacks of comics, all in one box. So with all that being said, let's get into what's inside. Okay. So they did a really good job of wrapping everything. And actually, I'm going to open this last. So I was going to open this one, but this is one of the big ones. So I'm going to open that last, build up the suspense. But we'll see some of these other stacks. Okay. So they've really bubble wrapped it because I said, please bubble wrap it extra. And they did that for me. They kind of went overboard a bit. So they made sure that it was nice and safe, though. It's always good. Extra wrapping is better than no wrapping. So, yeah, so let's see what they have here. Okay. Okay, so this is a little bit challenging, And this is like multiple orders all mixed together. So you'll see lots of comics, and it's just like random orders that have been mixed together. Okay, so I'm going to organize this a little bit. So the first one is from a collection that I'm trying to build. I love to get certain collections. Like, I'm a completist. I love getting every book, if I can, from whatever it is that I'm trying to get. And the one that I'm really focused on right now is Dave Stevens. Dave Stevens was a brilliant artist. He did good girl art in the 80s and the 70s. He started up till just into the 2000s. Then he died in 2012, I believe. So he's fairly young when he died. But the artwork that he created was brilliant. So a lot of these are from Dave Stevens, like the collection. I found that there's about just under 80 covers that Dave Stevens did. And the very first comic that I'm going to show you is a Dave Stevens. So this is Dave Stevens' Jungle Comics. And this was kind of like, I forget what publisher it is. But it's, Blackthorn. That's right. So Blackthorn is a really interesting publisher. You should check them out. They produce a lot of these kind of indie books, and a lot of them had Dave Stevens art. So Blackthorn produced like a remake of the Jungle Comics that I've gone on about so many times in other videos from the Golden Age. So this is kind of like a cover of Sheena on the cover, and just a really great Dave Stevens rendering of Sheena. Really great. So I like that one a lot. Then we got some Golden Age Wonder Woman. Now this one's in really rough shape, and I got a good deal on it. So, that's what you, if you, you get a good deal when it's in really rough shape. I can't even see the number on it. I believe it's number 44. So this is Wonder Woman number 44. And this is like maybe a 1.5 grade. It's a really low grade. Pretty rough, but it's kind of cool. It was one that I needed, and it's hard to find. So, you get what sometimes you get what you get, and it was a good deal too. It was under $50. So it's like really, really affordable for a Golden Age Wonder Woman. It was worth it. Another one, this is a really great one. And this one, a friend of mine on Instagram recommended this one. his name is Collecto6. So I recommend checking out his Instagram channel. But he basically, showed some really cool books. I saw this one. I was like, wow, this one's really interesting. It is like Man Hater, and it's like about a girl who just doesn't like the fact that she's beautiful, and all these men are hitting on her, and she doesn't like men. It's kind of interesting. So I just thought it was a really interesting. It's not pre-code. It's like probably like Atomic Age. It's sort of in between the code when the end of the Golden Age and the beginning of the Silver Age, sort of in between. So it's kind of an interesting book. And it's called First Kiss, I believe it's number 18, but it doesn't say that, but I believe it is. And I might be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure it's 18. This is one that actually has been spec'd pretty hard on. This is One Moment in Time, The Amazing Spider-Man, number 641. And I actually got this for two reasons. One, because of the spec. But two, because of it's the sort of that negative space cover. I really like these negative space ones. And this was affordable. Like, I think it was like $15 that I paid for it. So I was like, oh, it's affordable. It's a key. And it's negative space. I didn't have any of the negative space comics before. And I always wanted to have one of these negative space ones in my collection. And it's early negative space comics. So I thought that was kind of cool too. So it is... The reason it was spec'd on, just so you know, was it's the One Moment in Time series, where basically, if you've seen the Spider-Man trailer, where he makes a wish that everyone forgets who he is and blah, 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 well, that's sort of this storyline. So a lot of people are speculating that this is the comic that will be the storyline for the new Spider-Man movie. So that's this one. And then we got... another one that Collecto6 had sort of strangely recommended. This is the first appearance of the Crusader. Just a kind of a cool first appearance comic. Another cheap one that I could pick up. So, hey, why not? So I thought that was cool. And that was Thor 330. Another one that I picked up, and I got this so cheap. Like the guy had like best offer on it. And I put a like lowball offer. And it's Wings Comics number 88. And this is actually one of, like, I have only a few issues from Wings. And I like these kind of damsel in distress kind of covers. So she's like basically getting pushed out of an airplane. And, he's even like going to bash her finger so she can't hang on to the edge of the airplane and stay inside. So just really interesting, kind of cool Golden Age book. Okay. Okay, one sec here. Oh, okay, some more Dave Stevens. One sec here. It's a big pile, so you'll notice there's a lot of comics. This is, as I said, this is like 23 orders in one. So a lot of comics. This one is really crappily wrapped. Look, they wrapped it in this weird, crappy bag. I don't know. But it was well wrapped by Stackry, but they kept some of the original wrapping, probably because they didn't want to get involved with trying to get it out of this crazy plastic bag. Okay, so I've got it. I had to cut the plastic bag off. This is interesting. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on here. Okay, so I'm just gonna, this is just a Dave Stevens Comico Attraction Presents, but I'm just somewhat surprised. It doesn't look right. I'm just gonna take a look. I'm actually gonna take it out of the bag on camera. This will be interesting. So I actually didn't know what these look like. It just seems like it's just a cover. Wow, there's really not much to it. So this is very interesting. I didn't know what these were like. I thought it was a full comic, but if you look at it, It's just very thin. But this is Dave Stevens' art. As I said, I'm trying to collect all of his stuff. Dave Stevens is also very famous for creating The Rocketeer, and he did the original Betty Page in the comics. But this thing, it's very simple. It's just a one-pager, basically. It's just like, and it's in really great shape, actually, except for this one corner. You can see that's dinged in that one corner. I'm not sure if that's from shipping or if that was from original way it was. But other than that, and that looks like it could be pressed out. But I don't press myself, but if I ever had to get it pressed, I would. Okay, I'm not going to try to get that back in right now. But yeah, that was weird. So I wasn't expecting that. I thought it was a full comic. Now I learned something new. But I thought it was a full comic. As I said, that was one of the covers that I was looking for from the Dave Stevens collection. I'm missing about 15 after I open all these up from the Dave Stevens collection. There's like some like B covers and like alternate covers that I just don't have. So, okay, so one sec here. This looks like a lot of comics. I have a feeling I know what this is. Should be interesting once I get it out. Okay, so a little bit of struggling on that one, but this one has some nudity. Okay, I'm gonna have to censor a little bit here, so I'm gonna censor like a little bit of nudity. This is Morella. It's just, I thought it was a really kind of almost my I can't even like, okay, so there, that's me censoring a bit. So this is like it just kind of reminded me of Scotty Young a bit, the style. I just thought it was kind of cute, kind of cool. And there's like multiple covers. It was just like a collection this one guy had. So this is another one. This is like a different version. But the reason I got all these, they were sort of like the same guy that was selling these also was selling some Dave Stevens art. And I'm not sure. Yeah, so this is Dave Stevens. Okay, so he did this one, Satanica. And it's just like the anniversary issue. So it's kind of cool, the 666 issue. And it's kind of cool. So that's Dave Stevens' art. And then he did also this cover, which I have to censor. Sorry. Keeping this, I have to figure out how to do this with one hand. One sec, it's a little hard. So this is another Dave Stevens and more Satanica, Neo Satanica. Sorry. And the way you can tell, sometimes Dave Stevens would just, he would sign it with just DS. And his S kind of looked like an F, in my opinion. But this is Dave Stevens' art. So that was mature audience. And then some more. All these have to be censored, sorry. It's like so sensory. Okay, so yeah, so it's like a demon kind of girl on the cover. Hard to show you that one. That's another one of these from the same series. And then we got another Dave Stevens ones. And this is, I can't even do this properly. One sec here. I'm going to do this way. Okay, this is Brodick Illustrated. And it's just another really great good girl art cover. Kind of sexy. A little bit risque because it is a nude. But it's just another Dave Stevens one. So he did a lot of these ones for this publisher. And they were all a bit more sexy than some of the other stuff that he does. Most of his artwork, most of the famous covers for Dave Stevens are more like the Betty Pages or the Rocketeer, which are a little bit risque but not nude. So these ones are all nude ones. Again, this is another Dave Stevens, another nude, and this is Venus Domina, and just another really great Dave Stevens cover. Has a bit of nudity. Sorry, I have to censor. So yeah. Maybe I'll set up an OnlyFans and I'll show the uncensored versions or something crazy. I don't know. It's really his artwork. I really love his artwork. And it just happens that some of them have nudity. So I don't want to make YouTube mad at me. So I keep it PG. Keep it PG for now. Sorry. Okay. So we're getting into the next bundle. There's lots of bundles. This is just the beginning. Oh my goodness. This is going to be a long video. So hopefully it's exciting and interesting. There's going to be a lot of variety in this. Because as I said, it's like a whole bunch of orders. Like 23 orders in one. So yeah. Okay. So now we get into... I have no idea what this is. This is really weirdly packed. They put it in this kind of like, just like... So this is just... Okay, wow. Okay. This one is really cool. Really, really cool. This is Joker #1. Now, Joker is a comic that not many people... It's not a comic. It's like almost like a digest, like a humor digest. But it happened to feature just a crazy number of famous artists, like Schomburg and Stan Lee was in this, and he wrote some stuff in it. Just a really interesting book, very obscure. I actually found it because of another person on Instagram told me about it, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. I'll have to check it out. And it's just, I didn't realize it was this small. It's very small. It's just kind of a cool little book. And I got it for a great price. Again, it was one where I could talk the guy down, and I got a good price on it. I think it was under $100. And it's just really rare. It's a Golden Age digest. Just really rare. And I don't think it's one that you'll ever see again. So that's Joker #1. And it's just a really rare book. I couldn't even find it on the census. It's that rare. Okay. Then we got a whole bunch of books. Ah, okay. So this is a collection that I shouldn't have ordered. I feel dumb for ordering this, but it's Sweet Paprika, and it's just like all the different covers. I could have gotten this at my local comic book shop, but I thought I had missed out, so I figured, oh, I'll just get it. And later on, I saw that they had it at my comic shop, and I didn't need to buy it. But oh well, I got it for a good price. I think it was $20 for all the different covers. So, so this is this cover, and then you got just the weird pink cover. Then you got this cover, which I kind of like, and then there's the dark pink cover. I don't know. And then we got the virgin cover. And then we got another cover. And looks like they actually put in a little bonus comic as well. Gotta take all this out. They put in a bonus comic at the back. This one. You're the Villain, 25 cents. So #1. I thought that was kind of cool. That was very nice of them to do that. So it kind of balances out that I shouldn't have bought it, but I did. But I get a good price. It was like $20 for all, like with shipping for 5 different comics. Plus I got the bonus comic. So or 6 comics actually. So it was a pretty good deal, I thought. And they offered free shipping too. So it was pretty great. It ended up that it was actually cheaper than if I had bought it from my local comic shop, just because it got sent in Stackry and was free shipping. So that was kind of great. Next one. I actually read Sweet Paprika, by the way. It's okay. It's not bad. It's like kind of like a story of an affair between a demon woman and an angel guy. She's kind of super successful. He's just kind of a bit of a loser guy, but they become boyfriend and girlfriend. So, and it's a bit adult, so not meant for kids. But now this is actually the next one in this is a really cool collection. Actually, I tried to order this from my comic shop, but it was sold out. Actually, as I had it in my shopping cart, And as I was about to check out, somebody bought this series, and there was only one copy, so they disappeared from my shopping cart as I was checking out. It was really annoying. But Dave Stevens was involved in this one. This is World of Wood. And World of Wood is paying homage. It's actually comics by Wally Wood, the artist. And it's just like a series, that was developed by him. But it just happens that Dave Stevens did 2 of the covers from this series. So this is number 1. This is the Dave Stevens art. And you can see it's kind of that good girl, sexy art. And then we got another Dave Stevens. It's a really nice cover, sort of like an alien. Kind of reminds me of a little bit like EC Comics style. And then we got another one, number 3. This is not Dave Stevens, but just kind of cool anyways. And this is a Wally Wood cover. You can see his name, Wallace Wood. Okay, so that's number 4. And then the last of the series is number 5. And actually, I got a really good deal on this. Actually, it turned out to be cheaper to have bought it from eBay. So I got this actually really good price. I think it was $20 for the whole set. And I was like, wow, that's such a great deal. I have to take it. So it was really great. So really a series that I haven't read yet, but I have actually really high expectations for it. I think it's going to be great. Okay. Okay. So next stack. Lots of stacks here. Sorry, it's going to be a long video. So we're at the 20-minute mark. So if you've survived this long, good for you. There's a lot more great comics coming. So hopefully, this is interesting. One second. Okay, they wrapped it really, really well. So they actually had deboxed like a whole bunch, like you can see. Okay, so then we got, this one is really interesting. This is Razor Annual, I think it's just Razor Annual, number 1. Yeah. This is the first appearance of, what's her name? Witchblade, I believe. I believe it's Witchblade. Might be Psyblade. It's one of those Blade girls. So yeah. So this is Razor Annual number 1. Okay. And then we got, this is so it's all over the place because it's multiple things mixed together. This is Great Expectations, first print. This is a really hard to find book. I've seen it a few times and it always goes for a lot. I actually got it from a guy where I negotiated it down again. You can see I paid $200. It says $250. I paid $200 for it. It is really hard to find this in high grade. Any of these classic illustrated, really hard to find in high grade. This is mentioned in The Seduction of the Innocent, and it's one of those injury to eye motif ones. So kind of cool. So this is like really great Seduction of the Innocent book. Great Expectations and this is Classics Illustrated number 43, first print. Really hard to get it in first print too, so really great book. Now this one is really interesting. You'll notice that I got a lot of Dave Stevens stuff. This is Creature I believe it's number 1. And this was actually Dave Stevens' first cover art. This is like sort of I think this is from like 1976 or something like that. It's like early 70s. Oh, it says 74. Oh, jeez. So it's a really early Dave Stevens cover. I believe he was like 18 at the time. So he was really young, just, a new artist. And this was his first cover art. He did some other book that a couple of years before this even, but he did the interior art for it. But this was his first cover. And so just a really great, you can see that he was a brilliant artist from a very young age. So that's really cool to get early Dave Stevens art. And it's a very rare book. I actually got it for a good price. I've seen prices for that book for like $1,000, $2,000, just crazy. I paid $100, so got a good price. Okay, this one is actually, I believe this is a collection, so I'm gonna have to rebag these ones. They're in really old bags. I don't usually want to rebag stuff, but these ones are pretty rough. Okay, so these bags are, you can tell that these people probably bought these in the 90s. So this is Spider-Man 334, and it's like the whole set. It's a Return of the Sinister Six. So the weird thing about the Sinister Six is they appeared in Spider-Man Annual #1. That was their first appearance of the Sinister Six. And they didn't really appear again as a team until this book. So it was like they weren't like a group of bad guys that just, were always going after Spider-Man. They were just really a one-shot thing. And they sort of, got reused in this. So this book kind of heated up with the whole Spider-Man trailer. And it was just one that I thought, hey, why not? I didn't have it in my collection. I kind of wanted it, and I got the whole set. So this is the Return of the Sinister Six, Part 1, which is 334. And then we got 335, which is Part 2. And then we got Part 3, which is 336. And then this one is the key, I think. This is where they all appear on the cover. And it's the first time that they actually really are assembled as a villain team in this second series. So this is kind of the key. This is 337. So it's one to definitely look for. I think the grades on these are quite high. It's just that the bags are like really old and kind of sketchy. Okay, so this is 38. And then the very last in the series, the final chapter, is 33. Really great covers too. So that's Sinister Six. What's next? Oh, still more. Still more from that one package, sorry. Then we got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #13 from the very first series. And this is the first appearance of the girl on the cover. I forgot her name. She's like some, what's her name? But yeah, it's her first appearance. Okay, you can comment in the comments below what her name is. Actually, on my Instagram, I actually post out what her name is. So if you check out my Instagram, you'll see that I actually knew her name, but I'm blanking on it now, and I feel like an idiot because I really do know it, and I forget it. Okay, well, just so you know, I do know the name. It's on my Instagram. Trust me, I do know it. Okay, so that's that one. And then we got... Well, I don't know why they put this tape on it. I can't read the date, the number, issue number. Okay, so I'm going to show you. These are two that are kind of together. So we got issue 46, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles issue 46 and 47. Okay, now you're probably wondering what's so significant about these two issues. Well, this 46 is the first cameo appearance of Usagi Yojimbo, Space Usagi Yojimbo. So when they're doing a new series of animation on Usagi Yojimbo, but it's not the regular character, it's the space version of Usagi Yojimbo. And this is the book where he made his first cameo appearance. Now, he made his first full appearance in this book. Okay, so this is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #47. So it's good to have the set where you never know which is going to be the hot book, the cameo or the first full appearance. So I figured, hey, I'll get both. And I got it for a good deal. I think it was $20 for the set. Which for, the fact that they're still pretty early Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I thought it was a pretty good deal. Okay. And now we get into some interesting ones. I just like the cover. The guy I thought this was a really great cover. I just thought I'd get it. I always had this thing for Lady Frankenstein. I just thought she was the coolest character. I liked the old 40s movies, black and white movies where you had the female Frankenstein. I don't know. I just thought she was cool. So, yeah. So that's actually, I'll give you the issue number. That's Asylum of Horrors #2, and I think it was like a alternate cover. I just thought it was a really great cover. And then somebody actually recommended this one to me, and I forgot who recommended it to me, but I thought it was such a cool cover, I had to get it. Sort of like a Wonder Woman and Batman, a guest starting Batman, Wonder Woman 222, and it's kind of like a bondage cover where she's getting arrested. So it's really great cover, very sexy cover. I thought it was really great. So when I saw it, hey, I'm going to pick that up. It's really cool. So somebody recommended that to me. I thought, wow, that's a really cool cover. Now, more Dave Stevens art. This is a Black Angel. I think it's just called Black Angel. And it's just a really great kind of sexy Nazi cover. Like it got the swastika in the background, or maybe she's Buddhist. I'm not sure. I think it's the swastika. Okay, so I'm just joking. So yeah, so great Dave Stevens good girl art. I just really like the cover. Okay, and then we got another one it was a set actually. That one came with this other one, and this is Valkyrie. Another Nazi kind of cover, and I thought this was actually a pretty great cover too. This is not Dave Stevens. I forgot the artist. It's I believe it's Shindo. Yeah, or Shido. Okay, so Shido. Or Chido. Maybe it's Chido actually. I'm brutalizing the poor artist's name, but really great art. I think it was awesome. This is Valkyrie. So those were a set, and I thought it was a great set, so I picked it up. It was $20 for the set, so not too bad. A lot of the Dave Stevens art is fairly pricey, and I thought that was a reasonable price. Okay, next. Oh, another interesting one. I like the cover. I just like the cover. I mentioned that I like Frankenstein a lot. So this is another one of these Frankenstein covers. I just thought this was, and I've been collecting Femforce. Because Femforce kind of brings back a lot of the golden age girls, like good girls, like Phantom Lady and Miss Mask, who I always go on about, and they kind of came back in a team called the Femforce. So I thought this was just such a great cover. It has a mixture of both things, kind of sexy a bit too. Just really liked it. I just thought it was a great cover. So yeah, I got that one. And the last book in that stack is kind of a major one. It's this one. This is Solar Man of Adam #1 from Gold Key. And this is the first appearance of Dr. Solar. And it's a low grade, but it's not a bad grade. It's a little bit rough. It's got like some little bit of spine damage. Like actually a lot of spine damage. But it's probably like, they have it as a good plus. So it's probably a pretty accurate assessment of the grade. But it looks good. And, you know, it's kind of cool to finally get this in my collection. I've actually tried to win this a few times at auction. I always seem to lose. I don't know why. But I got this, and I'm happy with it. It's a low grade, but it was affordable. And it's cool to get it in my collection. So that's that one. Okay. One more. Oh, actually, 3 more stacks. Wow, so many. Okay. I told you this was a big, long unboxing video. Okay, so this one is really packaged interestingly. I don't know. I think they left it in the original packaging because this is very unusual. Okay. Oh. Slice it open a bit. Okay. Oh, okay. I was just talking about this girl. This is Miss Mask. This is the character I was just mentioning. This is Exciting Comics #1. I actually have multiple versions of this, different covers. But this is, you know, this is what Miss Mask looked like. She would wear different costumes, some more sexier than others. this was maybe not such a sexy cover, like costume, but yeah, they renamed her, by the way, as Madame Mask, but in the Golden Age, she was referred to as Miss Mask. So just a great character. And it's great to have this in my collection. I've been trying to get everything Miss Mask related, so that's kind of cool. Okay, so there's one more like that. Okay. Oh, this one isn't bagged. Oh my goodness. Why did they send it this way? Okay, this one's another really great cover. 3D True Crime. And I believe they said it even has the glasses. Oh, you know, it's always good when you can get the 3D comic with the glasses. So this is another really great one. I actually always liked these 3D covers, and I thought this was a really great cover. A 3D comics, I should say. But I just really like this cover. That was really great. So this is another cover by, kind of a rare comic. Just a really great cover. Okay, and now we're into last stack, and then I'll show you the slab at the very end of all this. And I'm going to make sure there's nothing else inside. Yep, all empty. So I'm going to throw that on the floor. Wow. Okay, last stack. So many comics to unbox. I believe. Okay. This is interesting. I don't remember actually ordering this. Okay, one sec. You know, it's bad when you don't remember ordering something. One sec here. Okay. Oh, I think they just threw in some comics. This is weird. Okay, so sometimes eBay sellers will just throw in some random comics, and that's what happened here. These are comics that I did not order, but they threw in. Oh, maybe they didn't. Actually, I know what this is. No, this is right. This is actually... I didn't realize what this was. Now I know. Okay, this is actually a pretty cool collection. I just didn't recognize the cover at first, when I first saw it. Okay, I got to explain this a little bit. Somebody on QE actually told me about this on Instagram. This is Dark Claw. Now, this is Amalgam Press. And they basically created these mixtures of like DC plus Marvel characters. And basically this is like the mixture of Batman and Wolverine. So it's like all these kind of mixed characters where they're mixed between DC and Marvel characters. So they have like that one. And then there's another from the same series. This is Dark Claw. Again, mixture of Batman and Wolverine. I wish they bagged and boarded everything. A little annoying that they didn't. And then this is Man of War, which I believe is Superman plus Captain America. Kind of interesting mix. Some of these are bags and some of them are not. I don't know why. And then we got Spider-Boy, mixture of Spider-Man and Superboy. Kind of interesting. And then we got another Spider-Boy. And it's like a team up, and you get to see a whole bunch of other mixture characters. And then we got Bat Thing. Maybe Man Bat plus Swamp Thing. Kind of interesting. And then we got X Patrol. So that's kind of interesting. We got Elastic Girl, Federal Man, Niles Cable, and Shatter, Starfire, and Beastling. Those are all the interesting characters. So mixture of like a whole bunch of characters from DC and Marvel. So it's like almost like X-Men plus Team Teen Titans or something like that, I believe. So kind of interesting. And we have another one from that same series. And it's just another cover. Kind of cool. And then we have Assassins. I believe that this is like a mixture of Elektra and like, what's it called? Deathstroke. Kind of a weird mix. So kind of interesting. Assassins. And then we got Iron Lantern. So like Iron Man, Green Lantern. Very interesting series. So I bought the complete collection of this weird press of mixture of Marvel and DC characters. And then we have JLX Unleashed, which is a mixture of obviously the Justice League and X-Men. Kind of interesting. So we got like Silver Surfer mixed with, I don't know who he's mixed with. Maybe, I don't know. It's some weird character. So a lot of really interesting characters, like where they mix them. And we got another JLX. So you can see how they all interesting, like, yeah, different characters mixed between the two universes. And then we got Super Soldier, another Super Soldier. This is like another Superman plus Captain America. And this wasn't an expensive collection. The whole collection, I think it was $40 for the complete collection. It's not super expensive. And then we got Bullets and Bracelets, where it's sort of like Punisher and I'm not sure what he's mixed with. Punisher or something. They have Castle and, oh, so it's like Punisher and it looks like some kind of Wonder Woman mixture going on there. So kind of cool. And then this one, actually, this was the one I really wanted from this collection because I thought it was the funniest one. This is Lobo the Duck. So it's like Lobo meets Howard the Duck. Thought it was great. Just a really funny story. And then we got Bruce Wayne and S.H.I.E.L.D., Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. So like Nick Fury plus Batman, Bruce Wayne. So I thought that was kind of cool. Yeah, it's a very cool cover too. Very nice. Okay. And then we got New Gods, but it's Thorian of the New Gods. So it's New Gods plus Thor, which is kind of interesting. So yeah, it's a very nice little mix there. And then we got Magneto, the Magnet Men. It's kind of interesting. And then we got Magnet Men featuring Magneto, which is the other variation. And it's like the Sinister Society. So this is like the Sinister Six, plus, you know, kind of mixed, I think. And then we got Challengers of the Fantastic. So I believe it's Challengers of the Unknown, a mixture with Fantastic Four. So that's kind of cool. Interesting how they mix the two. And then we got Generation Hex instead of X. So this is like Jonah Hex plus X-Men kind of thing. Kind of cool. And the last of the series was Speed Demon. So Demon and like Hellraiser or something. So kind of a cool cool mix. So that's it. Or Entrigan is the guy's name. And then we got one last comic that is the big finale. So if you've waited all this time, this is the moment of truth to find out what's in this final. What was the slab that was inside of all this, after all this? Okay, this is actually a very big book. Very big. I got it for a good price. Actually, it's funny. The guy that sold me this, he had 2 copies. And one, he had it for auction. And one, he had for best offer. And so I put a best offer of $1,100. And he rejected me. Okay? So I was like, oh, okay. And he had both of them with the same grade. It was weird. So, so I said, okay, I'm not going to bid any more than that because it's way above fair price. And then, I bid on the auction and I got it for $1,000. So I saved $100 by winning it as an auction. And it's like in this huge slab. It's Wonder Woman #3 from 1943. This is a really great book. It's like early Wonder Woman. It's the first. It has like a full page ad for Comic Calicave. Wow. Okay. And it's just a great early Wonder Woman. So these ones are really hard to find, and it's really great to have. I'm getting close to getting the complete Wonder Woman collection. That's my goal. And this is just that one more step closer to getting that goal of having all the Wonder Woman in my collection. So that has been my Stackry unboxing of 23 different orders, all stacked together in one box. So it's pretty cool. I hope you enjoyed it. I actually recommend, if you're outside of the United States, to try using Stackry. It saves so much on shipping. I will actually link my affiliate link in the description so you can check them out. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'd love to get feedback. What comics in this collection or collections did you enjoy? So thanks again for watching. Bye for now.